I think something that we don't really talk about enough is why adulthood can feel so scary sometimes. Because when you're a kid, you look at adults and you think that they just know everything. You think that they know how to call places, how to handle money, go to appointments, how to deal with paperwork, and they just know how to figure stuff out, you know? And then when you become an adult, suddenly you're just like, wait, nobody actually taught me how to do this. And I don't mean that in a blaming way towards parents, because I generally do not think that most parents are trying to do that. I just think, like, a lot of the time, they're just doing what they have to do. They're paying bills, making phone calls, handling responsibilities, and sometimes it's just easier for them to do it themselves. But I think sometimes we forget that those little moments are actually teaching moments, like opportunities. Like, imagine if you're 5 years old and your parent says, hey, do you want to help me order with the pizza? And maybe your only job is saying, pepperoni. That's it. You're not responsible for ordering the entire meal. You're not paying for it. You're not doing an adult responsibility. But you did just learn that I can talk to someone on the phone. Even in a simple phrase like pepperoni, something like small like that, you know? Or maybe you're 11 years old and your parent takes you to the bank and says, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is why we're here, this is how this works. Like, it's just like a show and tell kind of thing of a adult responsibility that will eventually come, you know? You're not managing the finances just yet. You're just being introduced to something that one day you'll need to understand. Or maybe you're a teenager and your parent says, like, hey, why don't you order your own food this time? Because those little uncomfortable moments are how confidence actually gets built. And I think sometimes as adults, we forget that the reason something feels scary is because we haven't done it before. It's not always because we're incapable. Sometimes we're just inexperienced. And then we get to our 20s and people say things like, you're 20 years old, you should figure this out. Like, you literally, do it yourself, you're 20. As if that's a reason to, you know, like, what the heck. But, like, yes, there is a point where we have to learn things for ourselves. That's part of growing up. But I also think there's something beautiful about a parent still being willing to stand beside their child while they learn. Because if your 20-year-old asked you to come with them to the bank or asked you to handle something, that doesn't necessarily mean that they failed at becoming independent. It just means that they trust you. It means that you created a relationship where they feel safe coming to you, because even adults need support. We bring our best friends with us when we're nervous. We ask people we trust for advice. We want someone there when we're doing something unfamiliar. So why do we act like that suddenly stops when someone turns 18? I think the goal of parenting isn't to make your child never need you. I think the goal is to teach them how to do things while still knowing that they have someone in their corner. Because independence isn't never asking for help. It's knowing that you can learn, you can try, and knowing that support does not make you weak. And honestly, I think that's something a lot of us are learning as adults, especially since I'm 20 and all that stuff. I'm still learning all this stuff, you know? But it's like we're not behind because we're nervous about things that we never done. We're just humans learning how to navigate a world that we were never given a manual for.